Hey, what's up, everyone? Mark here. Welcome to another podcast. Today, I have one of my friends that I originally had on when I first started this. So, just to give you guys a bit of a background, when I first started our podcast, I did it in my car. And so, if you see my first drop on YouTube with Redeemer, my friend Rough Pops, that one was in the car. But before him, I had a few other friends that jumped on. Um, and this is one of them that I have on with me today. And so I want to welcome to my podcast my friend Yops.
Chee-hoo, far from the car to the room.
From the car to the room, eh?
The podcast room.
From the lav mic to the actual mic.
The lav mic. Wow.
Yeah, welcome, bro.
Thanks for having me, Us.
And so, just to go back a little bit on my story that I was just sharing just then. Like, Yops lives out north side, eh? Is it safe to say north side?
Strong side.
Hey, strong side. See? he is looking strong right now. Look at that.
See?
But I drove out to Yops. I believe, I think you were my third or my second. I can't remember. Yeah. But he was like my first three. Definitely. And I went, picked him up. We went for a drive, did the podcast in the car. And it was just basically for me, it was just like a practice run, man, just so that I can find my feet in this game. Because I wasn't sure at the time if potties was the thing. And so before I bought all the gear that I have now, I just worked with what I had. And so the camera, the car, and the lav mic was it. And so, yeah, I'm so grateful for those times there because it kind of it definitely helped me get to where I am today. And so, like I said, welcome to the podcast, my friend here, Yops, from North Side, Strong Side. But Yops, is it all right if you just give us, I guess, a little bio of yourself, where you're from, and all of that stuff?
Yeah, Us. So I'm Yopu Aso. Originally from Auckland, New Zealand. So born and raised in Auckland, New Zealand. So Kiwi boy.
Yeah.
Kiwi Samoan, but to all my mates, I'm a plastic Samoan. But hey, we ain't gonna judge today.
No judge.
That's how we connected, Mark? For winding back. But originally we connected because you wanted to connect because we were creatives.
Yeah.
And so obviously, I'm also a creative. I'm also a videographer, content producer too. And I've been doing it for a couple of years now, and yeah, man, I'm still doing it. I got three young boys. Obviously live out in Northside Brisbane. And before being a creative, I used to play rugby.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah. And
that's right. I remember that too. You played professionally too. You were up there. Hey, you want to just explain a little bit more of like how deep into the rugby you were, and what were you playing, league or union?
I was union.
Yeah.
Also, just a little bit on playing footy. I used to play. So my main sport was playing rugby sevens. And it's a lot of running.
Yeah.
So I played sevens and 15s, originally from Auckland, but I moved down to a place called Taranaki, which is New Plymouth in New Zealand, north side of New Zealand. And then played from there, then ended up at the Hurricanes, was as a Super Rugby team. So I was there for a couple of years, and then also represented New Zealand and Rugby Sevens. So I played for All Black Sevens. So very grateful to be able to call rugby a job at one stage of my life. And then after I finished in New Zealand, then I took my family over to Japan and then spent a couple of years playing in Japan, and then finished up there, and then got inspired to pick up a camera while I was playing in Japan, and from then decided to hang the boots up and then move straight into what I'm doing now.
Yeah. Your family, do you have a lot of siblings?
So I've got 3 older brothers and 1 little sister.
Yeah. So you are like the second to last?
Second to last, yeah. Pretty much the younger 2.
Yeah, nice. Are your family all athletes like how you were?
Nah.
Oh yeah.
This is funny, man. This is cracker for my brothers. None of them athletes, eh?
Yeah.
But my oldest brother, he used to be like, he could have if he did, if he stuck to it. Unfortunately, just go through the wrong crowd, and he just became a product of his environment. Then went down that road, and then obviously didn't become one. But now he's actually seeing what he's doing now. He's starting to do these little CrossFit comps and stuff like that. Yeah, it's been pretty cool to see, and and then I got my other brother. He's just he loves music, so that's his passion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he's a bit of a wizard with all the instruments and stuff like that, and does really well. And so music is his passion as a creative. And then my little sister, obviously, she's got a degree in youth, that stuff.
Like youth work?
Youth work, yeah. So she's the only one in our family that was able to go to uni and and get a degree from you.
The girls, they're smart,
Yeah, it's clever. But now she's a full-time carer for my old man now, who's really sick. But that's it. That's my family in a nutshell, eh?
Yeah, nice. They're all doing well. Like including yourself, like with the lanes that they're pursuing.
Yeah. Oh man, they're chasing, they're doing their thing, doing my thing, but it's good.
Yeah. So just to give you guys a bit of a background, Yops just came from filming to this, and so, but also he's preparing for a comp that's coming up.
Oh man,
the name of that comp is
High Rocks. Everyone knows High Rocks.
Everyone knows High Rocks.
Oh my God, I don't know why I'm doing it.
Are you doing it as a pair or by yourself, or?
That's the other mistake. I should have done it with a partner so I can
solo,
so I can talk with someone, but
and share
my thoughts and share the workout. And now, man, I'm doing it by myself. It's crazy, man. But once this High Rocks is done, I think I'm just gonna, throw my runners away too. Nah, man, but the journey's been good, man.
Yeah,
the journey's been good. We've been at it for 9 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, just me and a few of my friends.
Yeah.
Gym mates, but man, it's been good, man. Been really good.
You look good, brother. Holy man.
Nah, thanks to my boys that I'm around, man. Those fellas have been keeping me accountable.
Yeah.
And they've done an awesome job. Got this guy in our group, Johnny, he's a runner. And this guy is such a good runner, man. He runs like marathons and all that stuff. Unbelievable, man. This guy runs like those. He'll like do a lap and I'm just leaving the gym to go do my lap. Yeah. And then we got one of the other boys, his name's Gus, and this guy's proper like nutrition is like, and his training is like on it. Yeah, no shortcuts or anything. And then I've got my other mate, Boss. Yeah. He's much older than I am, much older than our group, but man, it's good to see him pushing through. And but that guy I like having that guy in our group because I'm always beating him.
So self-confidence.
I'm like, yeah. But I tell you what, man, he's awesome, awesome, good, for the culture of our group. But
oh man, shout out to you, Boss.
Yeah, Boss, man.
Yeah.
Awesome guy. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Dang, you got a good circle.
A good circle, man.
Yeah,
and
you got a good circle.
You know me, where I was before, eh?
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's another, I guess, bro, I'll touch on it real quick, eh? So I used to do CrossFit. I did it for, I think, just over a year. And I was with CrossFit Koa. That's out in Logan. And there was a comp that was on 1 year. Fittest in the West. Hey.
Yeah, that's right.
And so Fittest in the West, that comp was like in pairs. So it was me and my friend Devin. Shout out to you, Devin. And we were doing the division, we were doing intermediate. And that's where I met this guy for the first time.
First
Hey,
time.
like
Yeah,
face to
yeah.
face.
Mm.
Were we talking on socials before that? I can't remember if we were talking on socials before
I can't
that.
remember. I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we must have heard across, probably from Hoffy or something. Hey.
Yeah. I think you're right. Yeah, because I believe after that comp, because I think I asked you there.
Yeah.
If you know Josh.
Yeah, that's right.
That's our mutual friend. So Josh Hoffman, that's our mutual friend. Yeah, and so I think that's maybe it was from then. After then, I must have looked you up or follow, and then we chatted back and forth because we knew Josh. Yeah, but bro, this dude, man, that was your first CrossFit.
That was my first CrossFit comp. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Mia Lavini.
That's not, bro. Shout out to that dude, man. That's your relative or is he your friend? Like,
Oh yeah, he's a good mate, man. Just met him here, awesome guy. But that was that guy. Funny is he told me where he just didn't even ask me. He just sent me the invitation. He was just like, "Oh yeah, I've paid for us to go through this competition." I was like, "Oh nice." And the man pulled us back like a week going into the competition.
Oh, it still showed up.
It still showed up. I was like, yeah, nice one.
Man.
But man, that was the funniest comp, because I remember looking at the tally after our first event. I was like, fuck, we're coming ninth. Oh yeah, we're in for a shot. And then the next one, oh, we're at 14 at the moment. And then, man, we got to the lifting Milavini, and there was 30 teams.
Yeah, that was big.
There was 30 teams. Man, neck minute 25 or something like that. They were like, yeah, we'll take it. We weren't last. We weren't first, but we're the effort.
Yeah, exactly. And that was your first one too.
That was my first one, man.
So you have to take that one on board and be happy that you gave it a crack.
Yeah, man, I know. But that's
next level, hey.
I don't know what I was doing there. But that's what we spoke about, eh? We're just like, I just kept telling you, I was like, I don't know how you're doing your handstand. You're doing like these walks on your hands and
that's the only thing I'm good at, man.
Are you still doing CrossFit?
Nah. So because I picked up all of this again, it's just like, and my day job, family, so it's just like busy again, eh? But that was some good times, though.
That's some good times, man. And I remember meeting you there, and then we just started connecting. And then I think I needed a creative, eh?
Yes. Yeah. The following year, last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, early last year. Because that was
start of the year, right?
Yeah, that was 2023 that we met. And that was like the end of I don't know, October, November. It was quite later on in the year where we met there. But yeah, I'm grateful for that.
Hey, man, I'm always
grateful that we linked up from there, and then it just created this.
That's right, man. That's right. I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember just catching up. And then we caught up, and then I remember you saying, yeah, man, I'm starting to get back into videography again. I just had a bit of a break. I remember that. And I remember you shared that with me too. Yeah. You're like, yeah, I just had a bit of a break. I was just busy, but I think I'm starting to get the passion back.
Yeah.
And I think once you shared that with me, I was like, man, yeah, I'll have you at the top of my mind. And then I remember I had a shoot coming up, and obviously I had to travel to Sydney, I think.
Yeah.
And then I was like, hey, Marky, are you still keen to shoot again? You're like, yeah, man. Like, let me know how I can help. And I was like, oh yeah, man, I got a gig if you want to take it. It's just a short one, small one. It was just for my lawyer mate. Hey.
Yeah.
And then you went out and you got some awesome footage for me. And then now you're untouchable now.
To go back to that experience though, for me, I was so grateful. I was so happy because I was still trying to find my feet back in the game. And so things like that was like, it was helpful. Yeah, just because I've never done that type of shoot before, go shoot corporate, yet alone in the city, yeah, but I think I needed that at the time just to spark everything back up again. Because Because I don't know if it's similar to you or if you've had an experience where like you want to take a break, but then sometimes you still feel a bit itchy to film or take photos. Like that creative side is still there. I had that on that year that I took off. I still like I couldn't fully let go of it. That was it was helpful, and like that's something I'll never forget. It's just when you extended that to me, it meant a lot for me. I think it did a lot for me than you would know.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
like it really helped me take my first few steps. And then Colin came around, I took more steps.
yeah,
And then next thing I was like, okay, this feels good. I'll come back. And then slowly into this route.
yeah. Man, what a blessing, man.
Yeah.
So grateful. Oh, even I'm grateful, man, because you could have easily just packed the cameras away, you know, and so being able to do that for you, man. Hey, man, got you.
Yeah. No, I was thank you, man. Thank you so much for that. And I'll never forget it. Like I think when you go, it's like when you first start, and then there's people that help you in the very, very beginning. It was like that for me again in last year. Like those people, you, Kylan, a few others that helped, like Rough Pops. I won't forget them because it just you really got me back into the loop. And I think sometimes it's like that. When like you actually need support from other people just to get you back in again, right? It's just like having the right people. Yeah. And so I consider you guys like you were the right ones that I needed in those times.
One thing I've learnt being a creative was it's a lonely journey, you know, because, you know, a lot of people, if they own agencies and stuff, they have a crew and stuff like that. But if you're freelancing just to, and a lot of people at the start were doing it because of what they could get from it. And I think now, I think the perspective's kind of changed for me, where it's like, man, we can really collaborate with so many other creatives and get around. And it's exactly what you're doing now too, which is cool, man. And I think now I'm on that stage now where I'm not fully not picking up the camera and stuff, but now even I'm starting to give more to other creatives now is what's happening, you know? Like if there's jobs and stuff like that, I'm always willing to be like, hey, do you want to take this gig? Or and I remember messaging you too again.
Yeah,
I was like, do you have a
Yeah.
you know, in your mentor program or anything, do you have a creative that would be willing to take an opportunity? I'll give them one to go and shoot one in Sydney, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And for those of you guys that are watching this that I have messaged, this is the dude I was talking about. Yeah, because I do let them know briefly. I just say, oh, one of my friends has a job. If you're interested, paid gig, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've done that a few times, man. And it's so good to like what you said, like that type of collaboration or networking. It's so good to see, you know, especially in this time, right? Like, yeah. So I remember you were messaging that, and I thought reach out to some people, but I guess that's the blessing of like having like a podcast is like who your branches, who your hands can reach out to, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Because you're not the only one. I have another friend that does the same. He messages me because of who I connect with.
Yeah.
Oh, do you have someone for this? And then I reach.
Yeah. That's why I hit you
So
up.
it's mad, hey, like the way the circle goes around.
Even say Hoffy.
Yeah.
And Hoffy can say too, sometimes I'll need a creative in like say Idaho, America, or like New York or something. And Hoffy was funny. I'm always like, hey Hoffy, is there anyone in your community in your like that are in this space in America or like in Canada or something? Could you just chuck the word out in your community if they want an opportunity? And then Hoffy's like, yeah, I got you. And so he just chucks it up to his the people that come in to learn off Hoffy. And then it's another opportunity for his creatives.
Yeah.
And the people that he's mentoring, and then you give them the opportunity. And it's like, it's so cool because it's just the boys we've all started out with.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what it's about.
Yeah. And the other good thing is, because for you, you know who you just had to go to one person.
One person,
But you know who you need to go to,
I
right?
know.
You want international stuff. You went to Josh because you know his reach is big.
Yeah.
So see, like it's helpful. Hey, that's just see. I give it to him, and then he reached out, get back. Your job's done within minutes.
Yeah, and then Hoffy sends me like this guy, and then I'm like, oh, shoulders, and then I'll connect with this guy who's, I know he's probably in Canada or something.
Yeah,
and then I connect with him, and then he's just like, man, thanks heaps for this opportunity, and I'll brief him and stuff like that, and then he goes, gets the shots, and then sends it back, and I'm like, that's on, man, primo.
Ah, man.
But it's funny, like that's just how it was there.
Yeah.
And I remember just working with Hoffy out of my garage one time, and it's just like little things like that. And then now it's gone to a different scale. We're not the best or big all or whatever, but it's cool to give back.
Yeah, man. You bless people with opportunity like that as well, and these opportunities that I guess we can look back at our own experience. We didn't have opportunities like that.
Yeah,
you can bless others now with it. There's a good feeling, hey, inside.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, just from our upbringing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You feel like if you're winning, you just want someone else to win too.
Yeah.
And you just want to keep passing that torch on. And it's not even the passing of a torch. It's just really just each one teach one.
Yeah.
And then we all connect. And you know what it is now these days? It's more collaborative than, competition, and videos and content and everything all look the same, or there's a difference or whatever. But being able to give an opportunity to someone to really go out there and give it a crack, and then they find self-confidence in themselves to be able to do that for someone else. And I think that's probably the main thing that fills my cup and I get fulfillment from. And then, and then I go and do other silly stuff like a high rocks competition. So the balance is somewhere else. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's funny how it works out, man, but I'm grateful.
I think because I remember you saying that back in Japan, you hung up the boots and then you started your creative journey over there. Did you just hang up the footy boots because did you just feel it was your time to, or was it?
Oh man, to be honest, it got to that stage where I was kind of over training.
Oh yeah.
And like it got to a stage where I think I was lacing up to play in the weekends, and the excitement wasn't there.
Oh yeah.
And the passion wasn't there. But I think I know why, and that's because I think I started creating content.
So you had already started like a little bit.
Yeah. And the thing about playing in Japan, you have like a short season where and then end of the season, you have about 3 months or 3 months off. Like this is the best place to play rugby.
Yeah.
And your contract still goes on. So you're pretty much 3 months off, and you're pretty much still getting paid, and usually families and stuff will go on holidays and go back home and have time with family and stuff like that. And we did that. But in that space of time, I remember watching a Sam Calder video way back, and I was like, fuck, that's a pretty cool video. And we were traveling to like Philippines and Vietnam and stuff with my family just on the off time and stuff. And I remember watching those Sam Calder videos, and I had like a GoPro 2, GoPro 3. It was like very early stages of GoPro. And then I started taking all these like GoPro footage,
Yeah.
And I was like, far out, they're pretty cool, but I didn't know how to put them together. And then I was just like, I started researching stuff. There wasn't many people to research back then, but I remember watching guys, and I remember I came across a video by Ben Mika. Ben Mika, he did this travel video with his GoPro. I forgot where he was, but very, very early stage. he was on this jet ski, and then there was this like, it's funny, like Ben will probably cringe at this now, but it was like one of those Luma transitions where the black fades out and the white, But I was like, man, that's mean,
Back then, hey,
Back
that
then-
was the one,
Back
hey.
then it was the 1A, and used to just drop transitions and every gap, it didn't make sense, but
Yeah.
that was me, man.
Yeah.
I just followed, and I look up to guys like Ben and Sam Calder and those guys, their videos. And I think Sam Calder I looked up to because his videos were just unreal, and he was that guy at the time. But then looking at guys like Ben Mika, he was the guy that was Samoan. He was the guy from New Zealand, and it gave us like, oh, if he can, like,
Yeah.
why can't I do it? And then it's funny once I dove into the, oh man, I don't know if I should show you any of the, it was funny. Yeah, I was like jumping in the water with my shirt off, like jumping into the water and then come out, and then you roll out of bed. Doesn't make sense.
Oh, to transition.
Yeah, like the videos didn't make sense, but that back then I was like, bad.
Cause cause I think like back then, cause now they have that word trends.
Yeah.
Trend, like you see something and you're like, oh, I want to remake that, right? But back then, I don't know what we called it, but I'd say it was something like that, like where you see a certain transition, like that. You're right, like that type of fade away or whatever it is. Sometimes it was the most easiest thing where you just spin and you're somewhere else.
Yeah, man, that was it, man.
Yeah,
and I remember learning all of these. Like, I remember learning because I was on Final Cut Pro. Like I was like, at the early stages, and I was just like, learning all these things. And I remember learning how to mask.
Yeah.
And man, I remember doing this like, super cringe, man. I remember opening up this door and I was like in like this waterfall, like this waterfall. Didn't make any sense at all. But you're like, bad. Back then I was like, man.
Because that's what people will focus on.
Yeah, man.
Like you open a door, they see the waterfall. That's it. Like they're just like, how did he do that?
That's it, man. No storyline, no like, if you look at the footage, man, there was like a blue tinted type shot.
Yeah.
Boom, straight into like this overexposed yellow shot. I was like, man, but I think that's where I got the bug.
Yeah.
Just from traveling and stuff like that. And then I remember I started going to like these barbershops in Japan. And then I just told them, hey, can I get a haircut? We started getting a haircut. And then I was like, man, I would love to shoot a video for your barbershop. And they were like, oh, yeah, come through. And then I remember shooting with like the GoPro in the barbershop. And I remember editing it, and like the lines, the light, the lines are like, when those come, when they come down because the shutter speed or everything is not correct. And it's just like, and I remember editing it, and then I was like, I had no idea, but I sent it to the guys. They were like, man, that's the best video I've ever got. All for free. All for free. And I just loved it. And then, man, that was it. Hey.
Yeah, and that's mad because you're tapping into something that's new at the time. Very, very new, right? I think like at that time, did they have phones already? They had cameras on them, did they?
Yep. So they had, but Instagram was still doing videos, but very much like, but mostly photos, vlogs were there at the time.
Yeah, because GoPro was the one. Hey, like there was a phase where that was like everybody, oh, you got a GoPro. They go buy. It was so good, like so small, right? The quality was pretty good, like out of it. The one that you got, could you take it in water and that?
Yeah, I could take it in water.
So see how versatile it is? Like it was the one, hey.
It was the one, man.
What was the body like? If you drop it and it hits the ground, all good? Like, what I mean?
I remember getting like a little glass. Yeah, I remember buying the cheap one, and it was like a see-through one. It was like $5 from like some Japanese store, and I remember like I think it dropped. It was fine, eh?
Oh,
Yeah.
true.
And then, but the lifespan didn't last too long because I must have taken too many shots of my shirt off. I was like, it was a lot. But I was like, man, this was awesome, man. And a GoPro really opened up a lot of doors. And then I remember one time I think I built the courage to take my GoPro to training one time, and man, I was judged so hard, eh? Like I remember I bought a whole vest.
Oh yeah.
You know, the vest.
And it clips on the
It
front
just
thing.
clips on.
POV from there.
POV,
Yeah.
you know, and I remember going to like a captain's run, and then I'll run with it because there's no contact or anything in our captain's run. It's just line outs.
Yeah. So you know won't get hit.
Won't get hit.
Or broken.
Yeah, won't get hit or broken. And then I remember a few of the boys were like, bro, you're gonna give our moves away. You know, like and stuff like that at the time. And I was like, yeah, look, I won't put it like out there or anything.
Because were you posting? Like before that, were you posting? Where were you posting to?
I was just posting on Instagram.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
And this is when it was all like landscape. Yeah. But I edited it to like music, obviously, and there wasn't if I can find it, it's probably at the very bottom of my Instagram feed from like 2017 or 16, one of the years. But you're watching, you'll be like, whoa. That was one of Chris Brown's like early songs. Oh, yeah. No sound effects, just a song.
Man.
And but I remember doing that video and then I chucked it up. And then my boys on my team were like, mean, that's mean, man.
The training one?
Yeah, like my captain's run one.
Oh, so you actually posted it?
I posted it and the boys are like, fuck, that's mean.
But at that time
at the time when I was filming it, at the time they were very like, oh, bro, you know, you can't. But then I posted and they were like, fuck, that's mean. And then from there I became the GoPro guy. You know, we went on bus trips. I was taking the GoPro around and then videoing like this, you know, and boys were like, you know, they started doing that stuff. And then I started creating videos when we were at footy camps and stuff like that. And then it just became a thing. I started posting it. Then I ended up buying a drone.
Oh, yeah.
So I went from GoPro to drone, not even GoPro to camera. I was like, yeah. Then
you must have, at the time, you were happy with that quality. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you just knew that you needed another POV.
That's right.
You know, because that's POV right there.
Yeah.
You get an aerial one.
Another different. Yeah, exactly. And then I remember I connected with one of my other Japanese boys. His name's Takashima. Awesome guy. And we were both injured at the time. And we went into the session and I was like, hey, Tomodachi, you know, let me take this video of you. And I chucked the drone up. And it was one of the settings on the drone where, you know, that gives you like a little twirl around and it does it automatically for you.
Yeah, like it's a preset in there.
Preset in the drone. And I remember putting the square thing around him and it went around and then I let DJI edit the video itself. You know how it does
the
it did this massive as like world zoom, like look like real 360.
Oh yeah, I've seen them. Yeah.
So it was like a preset that was in the DJI thingy on the app.
So that's how they make it.
Yeah, man. And then
I've always wondered how they do that. I thought like the program or something.
No, it was definitely in like I didn't know. I did like zero editing to it. I just put the thing in. It took ages to load, and then I did it, and I was like, "Wow, bad." You know. And then I remember I posted that one too, and I showed my mates man. I watch these videos. It's like, oh yuck, you know, choppy as, but. Back then, man, it was
no
cool.
one had seen that.
Yeah,
that type of thing, you know, like you introduced that not only to yourself, but to your team.
Very, very early.
I kind of like want to take a few steps back to that moment, like when you said, you know, that you took the GoPro there to your training for the first time, right? How were you feeling about that? Like, were you nervous that you were gonna take that there? Like, what was your thought process?
I was real nervous, you know.
But you did it anyways.
But I did it anyways.
Why?
I think my role in the team at the time was very cultural. You know, I was someone that was influential in the culture of our team. someone that brought the energy,
Okay.
brought the hype. We did cool things and remix some like Samoan type of activities, like how we mili patia stuff like in Japan, like in the team. So bringing a GoPro was also something very different. But I also thought, you know what, if we can elevate the culture in our team somehow, let's just give it a crack. And
Yeah.
to be honest, I wasn't the first one. I was obviously inspired by someone else that did it, and I remember
In your team?
no, like external, no, I've seen the idea somewhere, someone had done it,
Got you.
and nothing's really original, and I just saw a few of the boys, like I remember Geordie Kahu was vlogging at the time, and I just remember seeing like they were like the OG vloggers, and like Ace Family were vlogging, like these other vloggers, and then I was just like, all right, let's just bite the bullet and let's take it. And I remember I was very, very nervous, and the boys were getting changed, and I was putting my boots on, and then I put the vest on, and the boys are like, bro, that's not the vest, because we used to have vest and chuck a GPS on our back.
Oh,
So
true.
they can monitor your meters, your speed and whatnot, like all that data.
Yeah.
But I chucked on the GoPro one, and they were like, bro, what's that new vest?
Yeah.
So I chucked on the vest, and then I put on the GoPro when I was outside, and then started running around. And then I went and spoke to the coach at the time, Stolzy, and I was like, hey, is this all good? I just want to do this just for team culture stuff. And he's like, oh, frick, who cares? All good. Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, yeah.
And so I went to him for his permission first.
Did it rub off funny on you when he responded to you like that, the coach, or did you just take it on the chin and?
No, I just took it on the chin, and I think I knew the value of what it could do. I think I just thought about it after. I just thought, man, if I can create something cool for the boys, and I could play it at an end of year season thing, like that was the motivation. It wasn't for social media.
And then you're like, then you'll know, like, then you'll see what I actually had envisioned.
Because back then people used to use iMovie and put like these memories, and there used to be like a little slideshow thing. And I was thinking of doing something like that, collecting heaps of memories from our team events and things like that, and then chuck like a slideshow to show at the end. But obviously I ended up posting it on social media. But the boys came back and they were just like, fuck, that's mean as, and then from there, when I took the GoPro, everyone was just like, they were trying to get in, they're trying to jump in. Or
it's funny how that changes. Hey, like from you going in there with your first idea, it's like there's no support. You know what I mean? But you can like that. They're so transparent to anything in life. Anything new that comes in, it's like there's no support because they don't know, But then once you show them, all of a sudden,
man, I know, man. And then, but I think once I posted it, and then I got the feedback from them, and I think the energy really motivated me. And that's the environment really helped. If it went the other way, I don't know if I'll be filming right now. I don't know if I'll be a creative right now, because it could have really dampened my spirit then, if you know what I mean. So getting that response from the boys after starting to post more and more, and getting them on the content that I was creating, it gave me motivation and just good energy. And then from there, I started getting motivated to learn.
yeah,
I started learning the craft on YouTube University. I'll look all over like some of the best creatives, and I'll copy something from someone, and copy this thing from someone, and just try and create something that looked pretty cool, And and plus, I had a little boy at the time, and and so me and my wife and my boy, everywhere we went, I was with the GoPro anyways. So just documenting family stuff and creating cool videos, and then posting those, and then that's what it was really.
That's nice, man. It's like because like I don't know if this is right what I'm about to say, but you know how you're talking about how your energy, your excitement kind of slowly dropped for training. it sounded like this was like a bit of a kicker and then got you excited again for training, but it's because you were doing something else with it.
Right.
Is that safe to say? Is that right? Or
Yeah, man. I think for the most part of my life, it's only ever been rugby. And it was all I did. All my friends are rugby. Everything I did was rugby. My family only knew me as a rugby player. Church knew me as a rugby player, the athlete. So everywhere, everywhere I walked and stuff like that, they just knew me as a footy player. And then I think, yeah, when that time came where I decided to change my whole identity as a creative, a lot of people are like, "Are you still playing rugby?" And sometimes I still get those those answers of questions now too. Are you still playing? You look good. You can still go. And I'm like, oh yeah, but I just work now.
yeah.
But I'm very grateful that I did take that step.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, man. But I feel good, where I am, and I think that's what really helped my transition out of professional footy. And there's a lot of boys battle with the transition out of being an athlete,
That's true.
going into the real world, because they haven't really found the same passion at the same level.
Yeah.
And I think what happened with me is that I found so much passion in creating these memories, which ultimately became a full-time thing where I wanted to create content or video or film or photos or, and produce that stuff for branding, for marketing, whatever. And that became a passion thing for me because now I'm learning something from scratch all the way up again, like I did with footy.
Yeah.
And every day I used to go out and pass a rugby ball so I can get good at passing. And now I'm like trying to figure out how to get a great shot, how to expose, what lens should I use for a certain, low light, everything now has become the new craft. And now every day it's just learning. I get to learn, and the world's evolved into it. Now it's just like, man, it's so cool. Now it's like the learning is just, you're inspired every day to learn certain things because you get left behind type of thing. But man, it's crazy where I've ended up.
Absolutely, man. Because I like a lot of the things that you said there. Hey, like I like the part where you're saying about like how some footy players struggle with the transition into something else, especially back then, like your time. Like now, I've heard that they're much better now. The clubs, support and encourage the players to set something up. But back then, that's all you knew was footy, and so like to hear from your perspective, going into the creative space, not knowing, right? Like you didn't know that we're alive in this time now that it'll be popping.
Nah, never seen it coming. Yeah.
Back then, it was just like a new thing that really attracted your eye, kickstarted your excitement, and then you just thought, oh, you know what, man, I actually like this. I'm gonna jam this for a little bit, and then as you went on, it made it smoother for you to then hang up the boots and then okay, I'll give this one a go now because I actually like it. And you probably at that time you hung up the boots, you would have had more information on what was actually out there, on the potential that this GoPro can take you to the next level. Like, you know what I mean? You would have read up and watched all these other things. Like going back to Sam Calder, if you guys don't know that dude there, man, if you know that color, the orange teal, that's the dude. Hey,
that was all my videos. Orange teal, even though there was all the noise in the world.
But that color combination, man, was the one.
It was the best, man.
Was he the one? Did he make it?
He made it.
Yeah.
He's the one that started that orange teal.
And the movies took it on and all of that.
Movies went off, and then you had guys like, I don't know if you know, not Ryan Nangle. He was one of the OG guys that were doing Final Cut Pro tutorials.
Yeah, right.
And he was doing orange teal stuff as well. And one of the very OG fellas, they were like awesome, man. But loved it. Yeah.
So yeah, like when you said that name, man, that to me, Sam Calder, I've heard of his name from when I first started, but this is in 2018, 2019. He was way back, and when you started, like 2015, 16?
Yeah, 16, 17.
Yeah.
Very long ago, but very basic, and not very serious, but then hung it up. And like talking more on like players transitioning from professional footy into becoming, like, it wasn't easy for me either, to be honest. Like I could be very vulnerable and be like, man, I was like, I want to do videography. That's what I want to do. And I was like, yeah. I'll finish playing rugby and I'll go do this. And then I went and did this, but there was so much you had to learn, right? Like the admin, the business, marketing. How do you even do that?
Yeah.
And then you're trying to build your personal brand from being a professional rugby player to now you're a creative. Like, there was a lot of like differences there where I was like fully hadn't let go of being an athlete and trying to become a videographer or creative in the business world. And then there was a lot of tall poppy syndrome when I got here because I was like, oh, I'm not as good, to be one because I don't know, I haven't done much study or whatever. I thought that film school was like the be or end all. And I think that's what I decided. I think that's when I learned that you can't come from being the top of something else and then you think you can come into the real world and be at that same level. No. You come off here and then you got to remember to drop your pride and then start learning again. And so I learned that the hard way. And, I decided to hang it up first and then go do this. And then I had to start all the way back from grassroots. And then I did a lot of jobs for free just to try to get my foot in the door, get paid for a job here. And I was like, fuck, that'll cover me for the year. Definitely not, but in your mind, you're like, this is it. And then you go again, another slump, no jobs, free jobs. And then you don't know if you're going to get paid or not. You're waiting and you don't even tell them. You're just like, no, it's all good. It's all good. Because my persona was very like, or my personality was very like, oh, no, it's all good. It's all good. No, it's fine. It's fine. And I think a lot of people took advantage of me earlier on.
Yeah.
And then, but I came to learn and I got around some people that were good for me in terms of like business, in terms of like growth mindset. And so then I just decided, okay, got to buckle down. You got a family. You got to learn to market. You got to learn to brand. You got to learn to build a business. You got to learn to talk how you're going to create. And from there, it just became very fruitful for me. Learning the admin and stuff like that. And then now it's just building up the network and being able to get these jobs, and not necessarily the big jobs or whatever, but it's a job, and as a creative, that it's like a win, but you got to just keep on going, collaborate and stuff like that. But
I think that's so common among our people is that feeling of just allowing things to just happen. Like that part when you're saying, oh, people couldn't pay, and you're just like, oh, all good, and then you got to a point where you felt like, okay, these guys are just they're taking advantage of me now, right? Like I hear that quite a lot too from our people this time. What would be your advice to the people now that are going through that?
Yeah, to be honest, my advice now will be just to let them know that it's okay to outgrow a previous version of yourself. It's it's okay to outgrow friends. It's okay to outgrow clients. It's okay to outgrow where you've been. And I think that took me a long time to do that, because I was going to do this job and stuff like that. And then a lot of friends were like, oh man, like this is cool and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, don't worry, I'll edit it. It's okay. Like, it's on me. It's fine. Like, don't worry about pain. And I'll go home and it's like, I look at my family and I'm like, oh, I just wasted a lot of, time like that. But for things like that, it's just letting yourself know that you're okay to outgrow that part of your life. And then you just have to learn from it and just be like, okay, look, it's not about trying to impress a lot of people. It's about making sure that you get what you need to get to provide for your family first, but to be able to learn so then you can build a business yourself. And if you don't know how to have those tough conversations, that's probably the best way to start,
Yeah.
and just outgrow yourself. And then you outgrow that vision, and then you become a new type of person. And then that's how you build your identity and your brand. And then you become more, what you call it, secure with yourself. And then you're like, oh, fuck, I'm empowered now.
Yeah.
And in the next conversation, it's like, oh, yeah, look, this is my value. But, if you can meet it, then that's fine.
Yeah.
And if they say, oh, yeah, I'll take you on, and stuff like this, and then you've leveled up from this, you've outgrown that old type of business person of yourself.
Yeah.
And you branded yourself and you become better and better, and you learn along the ways. It's okay to fail.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you hit it right on the nail there. It does change you.
Yeah.
Hey, like especially when you come into because I'm very similar to you. When I came into the creative space, there was a lot of things in there that I did not know and I did not learn. Business side of it, that was a biggie for me. How do you make sales? How do you market yourself better? How do you make this a sustainable business? And you're 100% right. I feel like for me, because of my personality, or my upbringing, I'd say more so my upbringing. Because I'm raised a type of way to always give, that becomes normal to me to give. But it's not good to bring that into the business space to give.
That's right.
But you're right. Like when you're talking about outgrowing, I outgrew that because then I was like, okay, I have to separate my feelings from my business. Like feelings have a place in business, but they shouldn't overpower my business and like everything goes off how I feel. Like, I'll crash. Like, I won't be bringing anything home for my family. And so it really did mold me into like a better version of myself. And so I feel like for everybody, you just have to learn. Hey, because for me anyways, I feel like I can say all these things. You got to do this, got to do this. Bro, it's not until you're face to face with the client. The mind can just change right then and there. And you're just like, it's all good.
Yeah, you're easy to say, no, fine.
Right then and there, within an instant, when you know that you've watched all these things and you're like, oh, no, I have to make sure I charge max. And then right there within an instant, your feelings your emotions take over. Bang.
Yeah.
And so I like that you touched it on that way. You just have to outgrow it. But like, when do you outgrow it? Bro, that's all on you. Like, that's all on your own pace.
That's right.
But at some point, you have to.
You have to,
you have to, man.
You have to, man. And not only that, it counts on you, but your family counts on it. Like your immediate family, if you have one, And if not, if it's just you, man, it's easy. It's okay. Like it'll be not easier, but like it's okay to say, I'm not going to do this for free to a client or another business or a company or whatever. They would understand that, and they would understand the value.
Yeah.
And then if it's a no, then it's okay, man. There's plenty of opportunity. You just have to don't wait for someone to give you an opportunity, go out and kick some doors down, and open the doors yourself. And the more you do that, the more reward you get, and no risk, no reward.
Yeah, absolutely right, bro.
Fully put yourself out there, allow yourself to be vulnerable to a lot of opportunities. And if you think it aligns with your values, a client or whatever, an opportunity, man, just go for it. And, I think that if you believe in yourself, obviously it's the main thing, then you'll be fine. Yeah,
that was a good point that you touched on there, that we shouldn't wait for opportunities to come our way. That's another big one I feel for some people as well, is that you see success, you see people winning around you, and then it's like, okay, who did you get that from? Who helped you get that? And then so I feel like some people fall into that mindset. It's not a good mindset to have, where it's like, okay, if so-and-so helped you, surely they'll help me. Sometimes it's not the case, And in order for you to grow, man, you got to be like that. Just step out of your comfort zone and go give things a crack yourself. Opportunities will present itself when I believe is the right time for it to present itself.
That's right, man.
You know, but doesn't mean that you just sit there on the couch and wait till that time comes, because it might not never come. Or it will come, but you ain't ready.
Yeah. Sometimes a lot of people, they give up too early.
Yeah, man.
Like they feel like they could just plant a seed and then the next day a tree's growing outside your house. You know, you gotta let that thing, you gotta water that thing, you know, and that's the way opportunities come for you. Plant a seed, just keep watering it. And then over time, it can just be just a little opportunity. But if you keep watering that same place, man, it'll just grow into multiple opportunities. And then you get to this place where you're like, oh, I can't do it all by myself.
Yeah.
You know, and then that's when you start delegating, or you give an opportunity, or you can do it all yourself and then learn to fail. So then you're in that little bit of a dark place. And then you learn from these failures, and then you just keep going again. You plant another seed, and then you plant another seed here, plant another seed here, water here, water there. And then you just got to let things grow. But it's not about waiting for things and planting things today, and then tomorrow you got bloody, you know, Elon Musk knocking at your door. You know?
Yeah, that's a good analogy, the tree one. Yeah, that's absolutely right. Absolutely true.
And you have to, yeah. But if you get yourself around some good people, and some people that are like experienced, done a lot of experience in life, those are the people that are just sharp. They tell you straight. They tell you, man, like, what are you waiting for? And they're the ones that, like, you figure out a lot of times that the people that have done a lot in life, they don't really like tear you down or anything. They decide, they tell you, man, you're like, keep going. Or I know this person who would love to connect with you, or stuff like that. So don't feel like you just get to one place and one type of person, and then you're like, oh, this person said, you're too out there. You know, don't let that word or that one person or one thing drag your confidence down or opportunities down, man. Just really tunnel vision. And then once you get there, and that's what I like about what you've done was, it's funny where we started in the car, to where you've come now. Man, it's awesome.
Oh, thank you, man.
Yeah, man. So, but I always knew that you were going to be doing really well, because at the start you had this look in your eyes. You were very determined, and you were very, like, you believed in yourself, and, you know, and you got a good belief system in your wife and your family, and that's all you need, really. And then it's good to have you back in the creative realm, man.
Appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, man. Yeah, Fire, you touched on a lot of good points there. But I like a lot of the things you said. I especially like the tree analogy one that you were saying. That's so true. You know, when you work so hard and then you're able to provide other people with the opportunity. But yeah, also going back to what we were talking about, like, you know, if don't wait for the opportunity to come. I feel like it's good advice to give to people as well, like, especially for new creatives. Like, rather than wait for opportunities to come around, man, reach out and collaborate with other creatives. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if you're just chilling there and just waiting for the opportunity to come to you, like an actual job opportunity, why don't get out there and sharpen your tools? You know, like, reach out to those who you feel the tools are already sharp and you want to be like that or learn something a little bit more. Man, reach out to them, because I feel like you'll be surprised at how many creatives would be keen to help, especially the longer ones, the ones that have been in the game for so long. Like, for myself, I've had a few people reach out to me.
Yeah.
Man, like, you know, I'd love to collab. I love your work, whatever it is. And, like, I keep them in mind, because, like, whatever gig that I have, sometimes some of the gigs, they're not for me, they're for somebody else. But then I also if it's for somebody else, I do reach out to them and say, oh, hey, is it all right if I bring over another shooter just to shoot some BTS?
Yeah.
BTS, man, that's like today, like where we are now, man, a lot of people would love to have BTS, like a lot of creatives. So if you could provide that service and be like, oh, look, I'll come and BTS you,
Right.
that would mean so much to me.
Yeah.
And then that's the door into that person there. Like the opportunities that might come from that person, right? Like for me, if you then reach out to me and you're like, oh, Mark, do you have a shooter that could help me?
Yeah.
I'll remember the people that helped me or came along to my shoots. They'll probably be the first ones that I'll be like sending out the invites to first. So you see like the pattern, the way that it works, you know what I mean? Like just being out there and connecting with other creators, it just opens up another door. Hey.
That's it, man. I reckon even for those creatives, like even like give me a buzz. Like my door's always open.
Yeah, this guy. This is the one, man. Yep.
You know, if there's anything that I can help with, or if opportunities come, man, just give me a buzz, man. Trust me, I'm always needing creatives every time. So if there's an opportunity that if you feel like you're in a rut, or if you feel like you're going through this phase where there's not much opportunity for you, or you don't know what to do in certain thing. Look, I may not have all the best answers, but if I'm able to help, then I'm willing to help. Doesn't matter. Like I'm always big on each one to each one. So just let me know, man, and give me a buzz. You know, but I love that the BTS when you're saying like dragging guys along to do stuff like that. It is another door, man. It's another door open to they can see your world, and then they'll get inspired and they'll get motivated, and then after that they'll be shooting weddings, they'll be shooting like commercials, they'll be shooting and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Because I feel like for that opportunity there to go shoot BTS for another creative, you'll be surprised at how much you'll learn just being in the same space as that creative that you actually look up to and follow. Like you'll learn a lot from watching the way they move, the way they communicate, the way they direct. If they're good with lights or like audio, like you'll learn that all within that there. So you're getting like education while you're there shooting for them. You never know with BTS, you don't have to shoot full on, right? You can shoot for a little bit, chill for a little bit. But when you're chilling, you're observing.
I know.
Rather than just staying at home and just chilling there.
Yeah.
Like you see like what you could get out of this, like when you go help another person. Like a lot of opportunities are out there. Most, if they're not for jobs, then they're for self-growth, you know, self-development. And so I think I'm just gonna jump a little bit now because one of the things that I know that you're really, I feel that you're really good at is marketing. Do you just want to explain to the people real briefly what is marketing in a creative sense?
Yeah, how do I explain marketing? So obviously there's branding and then there's marketing.
That's the one. Yeah, sorry, I missed that one.
Very
branding.
different, two very different things, and a lot of people can interpret exactly what those things are. But I think branding is more like identity, what you are, what you represent, that type of thing. And then marketing is how you're able to show that thing off like a advertisement.
Yeah, because that's right. Like branding was the other word. I forgot to mention that there. So like the way, because I feel like, I know for me, when I came back into the game last year, I was listening to a lot of podcasts like myself. I listened to sales, I listened to business, personal branding, marketing. I listened to all of that stuff. And that's when I guess my wife's Instagram started to pick up, but it just picked up around the time I started listening to personal branding and like the value that the people were giving when they tell you about that, because it was Christo. I don't know if you know him. Yeah, I was listening to a lot of his stuff and he's big on branding.
He's clever, man.
Yeah, and he touches on marketing too. Like, so to me, I'm like, I feel like the two go hand in hand. Like, you know, But I feel like you have to be very clear. Like if you know the purpose of your brand and where you want to go with it, then the marketing is easy to do because you then know how to advertise everything to make sure you're going in that direction. If you're not clear on your brand and you're not clear on where you see yourself in 2-3 years time, then the marketing will shift a little bit because you're still trying to figure it out.
Unsure
Yeah.
what to market.
Yeah. And so I think like that's very similar for us creatives. Like there's so many creatives out there, and I think some of us are still trying to find our feet, right? Like, and part of finding yourself in the space is like trying to find out what you actually love to film. Because then once you know that, then your grid on your Instagram can be stacked in a nice way to so when people visit your page, they're like, oh, this is what he does. For people out there, like creatives out there who don't know how to market themselves, like what would your advice be for them?
Man, it's my advice for the creatives now is just don't wait for the perfect time to become something or whatever. The content and the best way to brand yourself now is to be fully authentic, fully just you, how you want to perceive yourself. Who's probably the greatest example I can? Okay, I'm just gonna bring up Hoffy because he's our very good friend.
Exactly. Yeah.
How do I explain? So me and you, if we were to talk to Hoffy, he talks exactly the way he talks in his tutorials, right? Yeah. And we will sit there and we'll pick his brain and he explains stuff to us exactly the same way. And it's no effort, right? But he's being authentically himself. And what's ultimately happened is that a lot of people love that. Love that. They want to learn off him and stuff like that. But that's just Hoffy in his authentic self. His identity, his brand has become one of the best educators now. I reckon. Probably, I'm being biased here because he's my friend, but I reckon he's probably the top educator. Pretty much
I rate him.
Probably one of the top guys. But and people buy into him because he's just authentically himself. And what happens ultimately, he doesn't have to work hard at anything. He's just teaching the basics. He loves teaching the basics. That guy was never gatekeeping. He was never holding anything to himself. He was always just like, I'll give you value here. I'll give you value here. Like value. That's become his brand.
Yeah.
That's become his brand. And the marketing really, how he's marketed himself, I reckon he's just done so much of it that people have come to him automatically. And then now he's starting to advertise a lot of other parts of his business, of his personal brand, like courses and LUTs and stuff like that. And that's the give back that you get. You start marketing these things, you be like it becomes a strategy of his, but it's happening everywhere.
Yeah.
Heaps of other top creators. And I'm just using Hoffy as an example because he's our mate. And that's ultimately what it is. Be authentically yourself. And if there was a opportunity for a creative that's looking to build their brand, build your brand that's authentically you. Don't have to be anyone else because then there's going to be a lot of work. Just go out there, be yourself. You'll be it'll be funny because you're going to be like, I don't want to be by myself. I hate listening to my voice or stuff like that. But man, no one in this world is you. Like there's only one of you really, and then no one else can be you. So if you're being authentically you 100%, then you're just that one of one within the world. And just remember, content is content. It's really not a big deal. And if you steal an idea from someone, steal like an artist, grab the idea and then create it your way as an artist. Don't freaking plagiarize anything, and build it that way. But really own your own your identity, know exactly who you are, and brand yourself that way. And then you'll find the best way to advertise things. And then after that, you become a marketing type of genius. Somehow you'll be starting to sell products like Lutz and
Yeah.
like, other products, Nick Minute clothing, Nick Minute. It's like all popping up.
But going back to that word like that you said on like being authentic, that's so true, man. I had a conversation with somebody, can't remember who it was. And we were talking about that being authentic. And I remember like I think one of the things that we are saying was like when you're authentic, you can never run out of content.
Never.
Like never, because of that one key thing as being authentic. Does that make sense?
Big time.
And it's so true. Hey, like with what you're saying about Hoffs, like how you meet him is exactly that. It's exactly like the podcast I did with him like last year. So that podcast, if you're watching it, like I filmed that of him last year. But how he speaks in there is exactly how he speaks in person.
That's it, eh? Doesn't like it's sometimes you're just blown away. You're like, I don't know what you said, but can you just write it down for me? It's like, man. He's like that. There's heaps of guys that are got like awesome personal branding, and I only look at another one will be Geordie Kahu, but I'm just going off guys that are mates, right?
Yeah.
He's branded himself really well.
Which I think is good that you go off your mates, because the way I look at it is like, these are your mates. You knew them before that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you knew Josh before the world knew Josh.
Yeah.
How we know him now. You see the extra stuff that's come along the way. You see how he created a brand.
Yeah.
You see how he marketed himself. So it's good that I feel it's good that you refer to them because you knew them before.
I think it was good to see. I remember just a little story on Hoffy. Like we're working out of my garage one time, and he was just. I remember in After Effects, and we just like found out how to do this tracking thing. It's very, very early days. Hoffy, I don't know what Hoffy did in like 10 minutes. He must have watched something. And then Nick Minute, he's like teaching me. I'm just like, Mary, how did you learn that? He's like, Mary, I just saw like this thing online. And then he created, but the thing online was different. And Josh just found his way of doing it that was easy for me to pick up, And I was like, what the fuck? He's like, yeah. So track this and then just chuck a solid in and then pre-compose it. Like, I reckon that'll be easier. And then just chuck your footage in there and delete the solid, or like, that's how it. And I was like, fuck, I understand that.
Yeah, because he chopped a lot of the stuff.
Yeah, so he chopped the stuff that I didn't need to know. Yeah. And then I remember just sitting there and I would go to Hoffy, I was like, you need to start doing freaking tutorials or like some YouTube. This is like 5 years. Man, because I was getting it firsthand, just one-on-one, me and Hoffy, every time we did stuff. Every time I was with that guy and vice versa. But like, he didn't need to learn anything from me. But like, I remember like every time I was with this guy, and he was just like, oh yeah, I'll do it one time. And then I remember I gave him my GH5, my Panasonic GH5, and then the man was like doing all the stuff, and then he came back and he gave the camera back, and I was like, did you get it? He's like, oh, I forgot gonna be stuffed. And I remember taking the SD card out, and I looked at all the stuff, and man, if I had those clips, it was funny as, and I messaged Hoffy, I was like, hey mate, it's the effort that counts. It was like very basic at the start. He was doing those, hey, my name's Josh. Like, he was like, he was just like all the muck-ups. But man, it's so cool to see now. But that's easy for him. I'm biased, bro. He's the best educator in being creative. He's probably like the Samoan Peter McKinnon or something name.
Yeah. It's so good, hey, because I think like you're referring back to a lot of growth that you've seen happen within your circle. And I remember just saying to me, like when I had him on, he was saying about Jordan Kahu. I think you guys had meets. I think he had a group or something. You guys had meets, and he said that he would see your name in there. They say like, you're keen, you'll come, and then I think there were times when you didn't go,
Yeah.
but then you did go sometimes. So that's how he's telling me that's how you guys connected, and then since then everything's history, And so it's mean like seeing how people meet each other, how we all connect, but then look at the longevity of that friendship from then till now, years on, still, still there.
Yeah. It was crack up because I moved here. I can't remember where I moved. And what you call it? I knew Geordie was a footy player. And I was a footy player. And I told Geordie, I was like, bro, I'm here in Brisbane, let's catch up. And he was just like, bro, I'm doing these night shoots. We just catch up down at South Bank and then we just get scooters and we just scooter around town, take photos and videos. And there was a group of us, like early stages. There was me, Hoffy, Josh, Eric Lucero.
Yeah. Gun photographer, man.
So there was him as well. There was so many boys. Carlo. There was so many boys. Awesome dudes, man. And we just all connected. And then after that, we just got a feed and then we went home and then we all edited our photos and videos that we had done that night. And then we just all sent it in the group chat. Be like, boys, here's some photos, here's some videos. Yeah, and then check the video up, tag everyone, all the boys.
That's so good, man.
It's a little hub, man.
I feel like that's what we're missing out in this time, I'd say. There's not much groups like that.
Nah,
or that I know of.
Yeah, then there's not as much. But if you're early creative, we should maybe bring it back. And
that's a good idea. I feel like that there when you do a creative group catch up, I think it like I don't know, man, but I'm just gonna put it out there. I feel like it will cut out a lot of negative mindsets.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I feel when you meet a group, you create friendships. It'll cut out a lot of negative stuff where you see other people's working and that's like, a. Whereas when you connect with them as a person and you know them individually, that stuff hits deeper because you know the story behind the person rather than just the work.
Right.
Because
that's what we're all judged off at the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
As creatives, they just judge you off what you've done.
Yeah.
I just came up with a great idea.
Yeah.
Randomly. You know how there's run clubs?
Yeah.
Let's create a creative club. Like I don't know, something like that. Yeah. We all come together at one spot, maybe, and with your cameras, chuck some runners on in case, we ain't running or anything. Grab a scooter or whatever, half an hour, or you know how run clubs, you go 15 minutes out, 15 minutes back, 5K, chuck it on Strava, whatever. Creators, we should just come as like a creative club. Go for like a little stroll, and then after that, get some content and just hang out, connect, get some coffee at the end, and then that's it. Wow.
That would be so good, man.
Oh, not the run club, but the creative club.
See that?
See that? Join us.
That's how you create a brand. He just did one. Man, that would be so good, eh? Because then like there'll be so much good things that come out of it. When you meet a person, right? Especially if it's someone that you follow like their work, man, imagine the conversations. Oh, what do you film on? What lens do you use? Because they're there in person. That's the power of having a group meetup rather than messaging through the DMs and all of that. Like you can. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think it hits different when you see face to face. Hey, like,
and the other thing that I've realized too is a lot of new creatives right? They're going out to buy the best looking thing, type of gadget, right? And then they'll go and have these creative catch-ups, and then they'll meet someone like they'll meet someone that they love their videos because they're like, "Wow, the quality is amazing. What are they doing with? What are they shooting with?" And then they go catch up with them, and they're just shooting with a normal, a normal camera with a normal lens. And then they're able to connect and be like, ask the questions, bro, I thought you were shooting on like a FX6 or something.
Yeah.
And then they just teach him, oh, look, this is the way I've done my thing, You can maybe like have a crack at it. And then a new person that's creating could then understand that it's always not the gear,
Yeah.
but it's the creative that's out there. And so having those little catch-ups and collaborations and stuff like that, you're able to pick up on those things.
Yeah.
It's just so different, man.
Yeah. That's exactly it. There's so much good that can come out of a group. So much good that can come out of
Iron sharpens iron, man.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like everyone will go there and they'll take something away.
Yeah,
for sure.
big time.
They might take more away than what they were expecting, right?
The Creative Run Club. Oh
my gosh.
Stay tuned.
There you have it.
Hey, now you're back running, eh?
We were running what, 500 meters?
Maybe 400 meters.
I don't think we're gonna hit the K. Like we're just gonna do meters.
Yeah, man, fun.
That's a mad idea. That's solid.
Very different.
I feel like we've had a solid chat, man. Yeah, we've had a solid chat here. I think like just one last question that I did have for you, Yops, and if you don't mind, I'm speaking on it, is if you look back at your experience, all your past experiences, and if there's something you wish you could have did better now, what would it be? Might help these guys.
Probably this is gonna sound pretty cliche, then you've heard it all before, but it's like the best advice I can give you is really, it's not even that crazy. It's don't care about what anyone else thinks about you. That's all. A lot of people are afraid to press share or press like, they'll look at a post or something and then they'll be afraid to post it because they're very afraid of what they're going to look like to others. Man, I'll just keep it simple. Just don't care about what anyone else thinks of you. Pretty much. Basic. Honestly, you'll find so much freedom in knowing that you can just do things and you'll find out how much support you really do have. And if you have haters, that's on you. No. If you have haters, that's on you. But they will go. You just continue to be yourself and, don't hate. Just, do your thing, man. Don't care about what anyone else thinks. That's all.
Good advice, man. Good advice. Because that there is so true. Yeah, so true. I can't say how many people I've had conversations with in my DMs that struggle with that. Just getting to the point to post, everything's all done, and then you just, I don't know, second guess yourself, thinking like maybe people might not like it. Yeah. I think the most common one that I get from people is when they know that they have other creatives following them. And I feel that one hits them quite a bit where they're like, oh, dang, so-and-so is following me. So-and-so is following me. And then, I don't know, you might instantly think like, if they don't like it, then it's not good. That's a tough one.
I wonder what it is. I remember this guy, I don't want to name his name, but he comes to me, he's just like, fuck, I had these guys unfollow me because of a piece of content. And I was like, man, are you doing it for people to follow you or what? Like, you have to just buy into what, like, going back to it authentically is you. If you keep worrying about the numbers, if you keep worrying about the stats, keep worrying about the things that you can't control, then you're not gonna like strive, man. You're not gonna get to where you're trying to get to, Don't worry about the data. Don't worry about the stats. Don't worry about these followers or whatever. And if they unfollow, then that's okay. Just believe, keep going, plant that seed, keep going, you know what I mean? And a lot of people, they start to doubt themselves when stuff like that happen. It's not that one piece of content, trust me. They just, if they're unfollowing, then they're just afraid that you're coming in hot and you're doing something that they really want to do. They're just insecure in themselves. So just continue to believe in yourself. If you think the content's good and good to you, it should be good for you only. And then just throw it out there, man. Just keep posting, keep creating, keep being authentic. Man, like, that's it, man. Don't doubt yourself. Worry about the numbers. That'll, the rewards will come when you put the hard work in, man. And believe in yourself. That's it.
100%. Mindset is so important, eh? Like, mindset is so important in this time that we live in right now, because there's just so many other things going on where the mind can just easily give way. But man, because what you're saying, there was something else. It triggered something else that I wanted to add to what you're saying. Oh yeah. Because I know for myself, like, I've been in the game like longer now, well, a couple of in like yourself and a few of our other friends. We don't really care now, like when we post stuff. Like, my mindset is there now. Like, I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna just push it out. Like, I don't think like that anymore. It would never even creep into my mind. Because what I'm about to post, that's what I want to post.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it is now for me. Hey, and so you giving this advice is because that's where our mindset is now. I believe, like, for them, when they're in there a bit longer, they're eventually gonna get there. It's just, I don't know, maybe just in the early parts or a few years. And but then again, I guess in saying that, there might be still some that's been in it long, like us now, still struggling with that. So yeah, so I believe like mindset is such an important thing. Like, and if seeing other people's content creates that type of mindset for you to, like, worry about them when you do post, bro, don't watch it then.
Yeah.
Like, don't go to that thing that triggers that thought. Go somewhere else. Like, go, bro. Maybe go edit. Maybe go play basketball. Go, like, do what you do that makes you think or feel good about yourself. Go to the gym. Whatever it is that makes you feel good, go and do that. Because if it's the scrolling and watching that triggers it, man, you're just thickening up that wall that's gonna stop you from finding your feet in the creative space. Hey.
Yeah, man. Big time, big time. Wow.
But yeah, I think all in all, man, I just want to say, bro, a massive thank you, Yops, for coming through today, man. I really, really enjoyed this chat.
Yeah, man. Likewise. Wow, that was good, man. Hey, far out, man.
I guess just for you viewers out there, like, I will have Yops's Instagram details in the description below. This guy, honestly, he knows a lot, bro. Like, he may feel or come across as, like, just a normal day-to-day person, but trust me, man, this guy, he knows a lot. So in saying that, like, don't be shy to send through a message and ask him about, because graphics is one of the things you enjoy doing as well, is it?
Yeah. Sports graphics and stuff.
Just check out his Insta, bro. Check out his Insta. If you scroll along and you see something you like and that triggers that a question, send it through. Hey.
Got you.
But yeah, thank you so much, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And that's a wrap for us today, fam.